unity power. So these are the important things. That's why you have chosen the topic of the green building now today in my webinar. Okay. Now, what is the characterization of the green building? Efficient management, energy and water resources. That I will see how we will manage the energy and the water resources, that we will see. Then the management of material resources and waste. Suppose you are bringing the material. This is one type of management, because civil engineering is one side, environmental engineering one side. Ultimately, the complete the project, you know the project management. So in every project, in every engineering project, it is the project management which complete the project in due time with quality of materials, with quality of workmanship. So ultimately, the management you have to know along with the engineering field. What is the management? Suppose I have to bring the materials for construction from remote place. Then I have to bring the materials through transportation. Transportation means vehicles. That means the air pollution will be there. So it will create the air pollution. Not only that, transportation cost goes increasing with the material price. And moreover, the what is the vehicle air pollution? It is the fossil fuel consumption, which we are trying to decrease day by day. Very important information I am going to tell you. Suppose 4 unit of fuel, 4 unit of input fuel will produce the 1 unit power at the end user. This thing you have to keep in memory. So if we reduce 1 unit consumption electricity, then actually we are reducing 4 unit power generation in the power plant. That you have to keep in memory. Why 4 to 1? Because of that conversion factor, efficiency factor, ultimately 4 unit will give you the 1 unit. So 1 unit consumption will will save the 4 unit in power generation. And not only that, the power, the source material is coal, which we have to bring from Australia, which you have to bring from other areas. So there the huge transportation, huge cost also being involved for carrying out the input materials for the power generation. Now, the reduction of impacts of construction of material, as I've told you, that the carbon monoxide nowadays is a very, very global warming scenario, creating the global warming scenario, and the environment pollution created by the waste material, mainly by demolishing materials of the building material. So the reduction of the impacts of the construction materials on the environment, that we have to keep in mind. And enhancement of protection of health and indoor environment quality also will be a prime factor, through the proper ventilation of the system, through air, through proper lighting system. So these are the things we have to keep in memory for protection of health and indoor environment quality. And obviously the reinforcement of natural systems, that means aeration, proper duct for ventilation of the system should be required in this theme of the green building concept. And the building construction are developed by some developers. So they have initially some investment, and every businessman will looking for the returns on investment. So at the end of the day, we have to think what minimum cost will be involved in erecting the building, in constructing the building, so that the return on investment, those who are investors, those who are developing the building, those who are developer of the building, they should get the proper return on their investment. So that is only possible if we go for the economic materials, waste material used for construction. And analysis of the life cycle means, I mean to say that the recycling of the waste has to be done, so that we are leading for the zero waste in our society, in our environment, so that no impact on the environment will take place regarding creating the pollution. Integration of the design decision-making process. What is the decision-making process? Suppose northern side, just a common sense I am telling you, forget about the civil engineering, northern side, the direct sun is not accessible. So the theory is that the basic design guidelines will be, suppose you have a rectangular building of longer side and shorter side, the longer side of the rectangular building should be faced to north side direction to get the minimum radiation of the sunlight, because if your at the summer, if your room is cool, then your consumption of the air conditioning will be less. Your power generation will be less. Power requirement for consumption of the air conditioner will be less, because nowadays we can't think of without air conditioning. That is not a, I mean to say, that is a common habits to all of us. So without air conditioning, we cannot stay. Why this will be happening? Because of the improper planning, because of the improper design decision regarding the location of the building. So we have to keep in the scenario the detailed technical things. I will just enter into in details. Surface volume ratio, that means more the surface in the indirect sunlight, then it will be the more radiation of the heat will come into your room, and the shorter side of the building will be in the east, west, south, the other two sides. So that type of design decision making process in location of the building will allow you to work, allow you to cool your room at the time of the summer. So these are the example I am just giving you. So what will be the goal of the green buildings? Now, air ducts for an efficient and healthy airflow. Insulation, proper insulation is very much required, because those who are staying underneath the roof, if the proper insulation is not there, so there will be a what I will say, the heat will be radiated from the roof to the room, and the room will become one. AC consumption, air conditioning consumption will also be more, and electric power generation requirement will also be more. Now, nowadays, if I am talking insulation, we are obviously using the various types of false ceiling, because false ceiling creating the air gap between the concrete mother slab and the false ceiling, that air is bad insulator of heat. So that is one type. But nowadays, the reflected index, surface reflected index, SRI, different types of surface reflected index paints are there, which you are painting on the roof surface. I do not know how many of you are aware of this technology. Nowadays, we are painting the roof surface with some SRI, that means surface reflected index of the paint, and that paint have a property to reflect back the solar energy, so that the heat will not directly be radiated into the into our room underneath the roof. That is one part. Second part, we can talk about the gardening in the roof. Plantation, we are making the plantation in the roof, because the plant absorbs the heat, so thereby it creates an insulation. Now, when I am talking for the insulation is a big word. It is not limited with the heat insulation. It is, I am talking for the sound insulation also. Suppose the building premises is near to the main roads. So you see the boundary, the plantation of height, the plantation is being done. A proper height, the rows of trees are being planted. Why? Because the trees will obstruct the sound from the roads, so that it will create a barricade between the building and the roads for the vehicle noise. So it will act as an insulator, for the sound insulator. And not only that, the plantation of the proper design plantation, that is also architecture of the landscaping portion, will create a shadow, and that decision also be that there is also a sign in which direction the plant will be located, so that the proper shadow in the seasonal fluctuations will be made, and that shadow will have an effect on the summer time as well as in winter time. Now, the windows designed for maximum daylight. Generally, the windows are called the fenestration. You know what is the fenestration of the building? Fenestration of the building means the openings. Mostly the windows, to some extent the glazed doors are also there. But fenestration as a very, very important part. In green building, the brick wall will be less, or concrete wall will be less. Maximum portion, I will show you my institute, that is the Amity University, where I worked previously of my present organization. That is a LEED certified green building. I will show you the photographs of the Amity University, how it is, how the architecture of this, why it is called green building. Now, same thing, the Lal Bahadur Shastri College also I will show you. Now, what I am saying, There's windows, that is the openings, doors, these are called the fenestration of the building. Fenestration of the buildings will have a very, very impact on the building because maximum light comes to the opening. Today's scenario, in daytime also, we are going on keeping light. Why? Because the sun rays is not coming into our premises. And that is the black architectural or improper architectural planning, improper civil engineering design of the building. Why we have to switch on the light at the daytime if we have sufficient, we are maintaining the window wall ratio. What do you mean by window wall ratio? Because the surface area of the wall, the window wall ratio should be more, so that windows should be more, because this fenestration is very impact. Why I am telling, because windows will allow the heat in the winter time, and simultaneously in the summer time, that if we fix the glazing window like the tinted glass or reflecting glass, technically we are calling that reflecting glass as a property to reflect back the solar rays to the outside. So they are maintaining the difference in temperature between the inner and the outer atmosphere, and it will make the comfortability inside our room. Simultaneously, not only the heat is entered, heat is registered by the reflecting glass, it will allow the light also to enter into your premises, so that the artificial lighting, that is the consumption of the electricity, consumption of the current will be minimum. Not only that reflecting glass, which I am saying the shaded glass of different color, brown color, chocolate color, that will make the privacy of your room, because you can see from inside to outside, but from outside it cannot be seen to inside. So that will maintain the privacy of the room. That will maintain the U value. What is U value? U value is a very significant term I am using. It is the heat transfer capacity with the difference of the temperature between the outer atmosphere and the inner atmosphere. Now, passive solar control, solar cells. Nowadays, photovoltaic cells we are talking about. What solar cells are doing, they are absorbing the sun rays, and with some chemical analysis they are generating the electricity, and that is on-site electric generation, decreasing the current consumption electricity in our building. So this solar energy we can utilizing in every aspect. Then heat exchanger for climate control system, that will maintain in this. We are used to maintain in this green building, and the location is very, very important as well. And the location is very, very important, as I have told you, that the location of the building, which side it will be east west and which side it will be north south, so that the surface ratio, major surface volume ratio will be that portion which will be not directed to the sunlight. So that actually has to be maintained in designing of the building. Now we will certify the green building. Suppose I have constructed the green building. Who are the raters? We will certify in India that this is the green building. Now there are the government certified rating agency, the green rating for integrated habitat assessment, that is the GRIHO, is one of the rater who are certifying the building 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, 4 star, 5 star. This is like this. This rating building is being done by the rater. Then TERI, that is the Energy and Resource Institute, SBA GRIHO, Small Versatile Affordable GRIHO. So these are the rating system. And another rating system I must tell you, that is also LEED. In Amity University, my ex-university, I am telling you, they have got the LEED certificate. That is the Leadership in Energy and Environment Design as a green building. Now LEED, what looks the LEED? What is the parameter that LEED will give you the certificate as a green building, depending on your sustainable sites, so that your sites are sustainable, water efficiency is there or not, energy and atmosphere is there or not, materials and resources, what materials the construction is made, that has to be taken care, whether you are using the natural resources or the waste material or the other things. Indoor environmental quality, that means the proper ventilation is there, proper jali is there, ventilation jali is there, proper cross ventilation is there, the fenestration is there, proper opening. I mean to say, fenestration means the proper opening of the window is there, and the innovation and process. What are the innovation, technology, and process has been made so that it can be called at the end of the day, that this can be certified as a green building. So these are the parameters. LEED. You must have heard the name of LEED. Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design. That is the LEED. They are the certified agency. They are authorizing agency. They are giving the building, certify the building as a green building. So the material can be considered in green building if it is made up of renewable materials. So this is I am talking for the renewable energy, conservation energy, the material, the source, the energy source developed at site itself, on-site source energy. So we have to create the energy. So that's why we are talking for the renewable materials nowadays, so that the minimum consumption of energy will be taking place. As I told you, that in building 30% of the total energy consumption is occurred. So we have touched to the green, to the building where we can save the energy. It has minimum possible environmental cost. Why minimum possible environmental cost? If we, I will just put you one example, very interesting example. You'll be surprised to see the examples. So then it will be seen that the minimum environmental impact is there using those materials, using those waste materials. If we can think of, the building can be constructed. And obviously more and more you go for the waste recycling product and you reject the natural product, then it will be, of course, the low energy utilization, and as well as manufacturing and functioning as well. So these are the things. Now advantages of green building: improved energy conservation. Because why we are talking for the green buildings? Because our target is to reduce the energy, because nowadays energy is very scarce. So you are not understanding, but after 10 years it will be very much, will be in a land in a desert, when the energy will be shortage, because our energy input resource is limited. So we have to keep the energy conservation very judiciously way, otherwise we can't think for the development. Improved air indoor environment, because the immunity power in COVID-19 has taught us how is the importance of the home, how is the importance of the shelter, what is the importance of the comfortable living place that COVID-19 has taught us. And we have learned from this period that what is the significance of the improved indoor environment in the building sector. Now air quality also we have to think about, because earlier, without knowing anything, when we are not educated so far, because as time goes on, we are further educated and we are go on educating till our death. So we actually use the VOC, volatile organic carbon, in paints, and these are dangerous. These are creating the air pollutant. That is the I mean to say, the particulate matters. Those are carcinogen, then prone to cancer, and that technology has been upgraded. Nowadays we are talking for the paint of the low VOC, volatile organic carbon. Why? Because this is creating the less air pollution. Moreover, if we properly design and produce the less waste material, then the carbon dioxide, that is the global warming, also will be less. And occupant health, definitely that will be a target, that occupant health shall be maintained in this green building. Operation cost will be lower, so that the return on investment, as I have told you in very beginning, that return on investment can be achieved, and lower environment impact. Again and again I am striking the same point, because it is a energy efficient building, it is a eco-friendly building. Local ability materials, has the transportation is involved for carrying out the materials. Whenever you order the materials now, transportation cost, that is the to and fro site cost, will be taken into account by the supplier. Suppose they are going to deliver the bricks, so the to and fro journey of the vehicles, nothing is free. So that cost they will add, so it will increase 1 point. Increase the transportation cost means it will be, the cost will be imposed on your building material cost. That is one part. And second part is that more the transpiration means you are going to pollute the air more because the fossil fuel combustion is there. Yeah, the air pollution mainly coming from the vehicle emission. So reducing the transpiration means to some extent you are going to contribute in the environment, that you are not creating the pollution, air pollution so much. So the local material will be preferred in this green building, not from too far distance. So this is the significance of the local ability materials. Now, contribution in energy efficiency building, that is the designers and builders can reduce energy loads on the structures, reducing energy requirements and the strain on natural resources. Because I'll show you the example, then I will tell you in brief. Proper orientation of the building with reference to solar radiation to receive maximum day lighting. As I've told you, the rectangular shape, if it is a rectangular shape building, then the major length will be faced to the north and south side, where the direct sun heat will not be radiated to the window, and the smaller side will be towards the east and west side. If it is a L-shaped building, then the longer side will be in north-south direction, and the shorter side and the opposite side will be in the east-west direction. That will be the general thumb rule for selecting the location of the building. And proper insulation will have to be done for lower U value. What I'm saying, what do you mean by lower U value? U value means the heat transfer. So lower U value means heat transfer will be less. So this is the thing. Alternative source of energy, we are talking today for the wind energy, wind tunnel we are talking, solar energy, photovoltaic cell, PV cell we are talking, tidal power. This can alleviate and the reliance on the traditional fossil fuel sources, because fossil fuel sources energy, not only we are saving the energy, but also we are alleviating the pollution creating by the fossil fuel in the air pollution. This is very, very important slide. Waste from thermal power plants, we know the fly ash. Fly ash is a waste material.
Me, sir. Sorry to excuse you, sir. So are you presenting anything? Because there is no presentation here.
Initially, I have shown that whether my skin is visible or not.
Actually, after some time it was disappeared. That's why I am asking you, sir. If you kindly check it.
Sadati madam?
Yes, sir, it is visible, sir. I think...
Then why?
Sir, it is visible. Sir, please carry on.
It is visible.
Sir, please carry on.
Then he is saying it is not visible, so
I think there is some network issue with sir. Sir, please carry on.
Okay. Thank you for your feedback, madam. Okay, fine. Now the industrial byproducts are very, very important. Fly ash. Fly ash, we know it is a waste material of thermal plants. In Bengali, we are telling chai. So what is the importance of the chai? So 10 years back, we could have not thought that chai mane ekdom chai fele dilam. But nowadays, so importance of fly ash, we are creating the brick with the fly ash. You know what is the component of the fly ash brick? The fly ash brick is the component is fly ash, then the cement and the sand. And the fly ash is major portion, that is the 50% is fly ash, 40% is sand, and 10% is cement. That is the I mean to say the composition of the fly ash brick. So here the fly ash brick is one part. Then you know suppose you are land development, you are going for the land development. In concept, in civil engineering concept, the students, when they will pass and go on industry, then when they will meet the practical life, industry life, then they will face the scenario. Because in building construction, why I am telling for building construction, because building is a traditional structure of civil engineering. So building means civil engineering. So buildings construction, the floor always has to be more than the road top level. Why? Because all flooded water in the roads will come to the premises if the top floor height is less than the road. That's why when the surveyor does the job, they will fix the level of the floor of the building. They will first measure the level of the nearby road, and therefrom the top floor level of the building, ground floor level, top of the ground floor level of the building will be decided. Now your land is low, then what you have to do? Yeah, how you have to go the top floor? Then you have to fill up the land. Now in today, the earth is very scarce. As I told you, earth means soil, that means clay. These are natural resources. So earth filling also takes involved cost for carrying the earth now from other side to this side. You have to pay a huge amount of cost, not for the transportation, but for buying the earth. That means the soil. So it is not a free. So, but the fly ash in Bengali, we are telling the child only the transportation cost for bringing by truck. Suppose you are carrying the flyers from one side to from the thermal power station, only the transportation cost will be there, but no material cost is there because it is the waste product. Not only that, you are utilizing the waste in the construction process. So what you are doing ultimately, you are creating the zero waste. What is the concept of zero waste? Suppose in a marriage ceremony, where any ceremony, there is a party, now which the food which is given to you is it is not consumed all by you. So what you are not consuming, you are telling that it is waste, and we are throwing it to the roads. You are telling this is waste. So waste is what? Waste is created by us. There is no difference of waste. We can create the zero waste if you want. If you utilize the waste material, there is no waste. There is zero waste. So that the whole world is chasing behind for producing the zero waste. That is our global target. So fly ash is one of the waste material. You know, the one of the component of the cement is also fly ash. You know these things. In civil engineering, if you go by the code, IS code, one of the component of the cement is fly ash, because in building construction, shrinkage will be reduced by the property of the fly ash. So there is a contribution of the waste material that I am going to highlight. GGBS. What is the GGBS? Now, ground granulated blast furnace slag. What is blast furnace? My dear students, the steels are produced from the raw iron. What is steels? Without the steel, no development in the society, no development in the country takes place. In building, the most costliest material is steel. 3 times I am telling. No more material is so costlier than the steel. Even I can say that steel is costlier than the cement also. And cement steel are the prime building material. So rather than I can tell you, this steel is manufactured in the steel plant, say Durgapur steel plant.